Welcome to Weaving Happiness Through Grief, where we navigate the delicate balance between love, loss, and the resilient heart. I'm Stephanie, an author and storyteller who found joy and healing after the unimaginable heartbreak of losing a once-in-a-lifetime love. This podcast dives into the raw truth of grief, the beauty of cherished memories, and the hope of new beginnings. Through my journey, rediscovering happiness and opening my heart again, I've learned that grief and joy can coexist, and love can find us when we least expect it. Join me as we honor the past, embrace the present, and step boldly into the future with courage and vulnerability. Let's celebrate the resilience of the human spirit and the beauty of living fully, even after a loss. Welcome back. So much collateral damage happened to Jeff. And it wasn't just the cancer, it was the things we chose to do to him that summer. And that was a really hard decision to make, to know that we put him through that kind of hell. But again, we had a goal in mind. And once he started to recover and was healing, and eventually we got him off the feed tube, and the pole was no longer part of our lives, and he could start to eat things again that he used to eat, and we started feeling a little bit, just slightly more like ourselves again. We had the phrase that we were not going to let a diagnosis dictate our destiny. Because it can feel that way. It can feel like you're dying. It's cancer, the C word, all these horrible things that come with it. And it can be suffocating and it can overwhelm you, but we decided we weren't going to let it dictate our destiny or infect our love. So once he was strong enough, it was right after Thanksgiving, we decided we were going to put the first check on the bucket list. We got in the truck, and he sat there in the passenger seat, and I drove us up PCH all the way through the beaches and all the way up to Big Sur, where he hadn't been before. And he'd seen different pictures and movies and whatnot of that iconic bridge. And he loved the beach and the serenity and the peacefulness. So I said, I'll drive. You just sit back and relax. And we played all of our favorite, usually country tunes, because we loved country music and we loved to dance together. And we just enjoyed the ride all the way up the PCH, the Highway 1. Made our way through Big Sur, and then made our way over to Pebble Beach. And Jeff was a great golfer, great athlete. And he always wanted to play at Pebble Beach. But his body was too weak. It wasn't something that he could do. And we hoped maybe one day he could. So when we got up to the Pebble Beach area, passed through Monterey, and you go on this beautiful coastline there. And there's that one iconic hole where there's the tree that sits there, and it's right on by the water. And we're looking at it, and I could look over at him, and I could see that just tears started kind of trickling down his face slightly. And I think he just realized that he'll probably never get to play it. But we got to go experience it and walk around the grounds. We made our way over to the clubhouse. I believe it's called Spanish Hills is the name of the course. And we made our way over, and they have a bagpiper that plays at sunset. We grabbed a glass of wine, and we sat there, we watched the sunset, and you got to experience that as the bagpiper was playing and walking the course, and it was absolutely beautiful. All the things that happened to Jeff, there was so much collateral damage to his body. These weren't life and death moments to us, but they were a lot. And they started just slightly ripping away from the quality of life. But we had Band-Aids and things to compensate for the problems that he was incurring because of the surgery and the radiation and the chemo. At the young age, he had to have cataract surgery in both of his eyes. He had a hole in the roof of his mouth, and we found this out because one day he was just sitting there, and we were in the family room, and all of a sudden he took a drink of something, and out of his nose came pouring the liquid, whatever it was he was drinking. First we thought he was just spilling it. And then we realized later, once we saw a specialist, that in fact there was a hole in the roof of his mouth, and that was caused by the radiation. And all these things, as awful as they were, to us, they were just small collateral damage. If we could save him, that was the goal, to get past that 3 to 6 months and see what quality of life we could have with that. So these things were manageable. So dentist appointment with a specialist, made a retainer-like little piece that went up to the top of his mouth so that he could eat and drink like everybody else. And things didn't come out of his nose anymore. And then one day his hearing was not great, and we could tell that he couldn't hear things very well, so we went in for some hearing tests, and sure enough, he needed to get hearing aids because he was losing his hearing. All of these, we call them collateral damage. To us, looking back, these things were worth it because we bought more time, and each time we were buying time, and bless his heart, like his body was being tormented piece by piece. But they weren't extreme, and they were enough that he still had good quality of life. And so to us, and to him more importantly, these were things we could live with. And so we did. And we continued to look at our bucket list and start making more check marks. As we close this episode of Weaving Happiness Through Grief, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey of remembrance, resilience, and rediscovery. Loss is a path none of us choose, but together we can walk through it, honoring the love that was and of the life that still awaits us. If today's story touched a part of your own journey, know that you're not alone. Grief, though profound, doesn't close us off from joy. It teaches us how to hold space for both love and loss. And sometimes, it opens our hearts to unexpected new beginnings. Join me next time as we continue to explore healing, acceptance, and the beautiful bittersweet moments that remind us life can still be filled with happiness. And remember, while we honor the love that has shaped us, we open ourselves to the hope that the future holds. Please head over to the show notes to find out more of the ways I offer guidance on the topics I discuss in the podcast, or visit thestephanieduran.com. Until next time, take gentle steps forward, hold your memories close, and know that joy and love in all its forms continues on.